I also want to say how disappointed I am in a post made by the North Carolina State Superintendent, Truitt. This is the North Carolina State Superintendent for the North Carolina State Education System. And I know how restrictive it is sitting in this seat, because there are things I would say if I wasn't sitting here, because I'd be an independent board member and not someone responsible for being equitable and fair and not exploiting this seat. And it has been very difficult. I have really not chosen to be here and appreciate everyone's support. But I have expectations that people who are in positions of leadership have to rise above their own personality and agenda. But Superintendent Truitt said today that she will continue to do everything she can to eradicate the teaching of critical race theory, and the North Carolina Republicans are united behind this. And, it's absurd, because we haven't even had a discussion, to critically analyze the impact of race in our history, as we are celebrating Juneteenth this weekend that acknowledges the elimination of slavery. But I just want to talk about it. Didn't just end slavery. We're talking about 2.5 centuries of not only denying people access to opportunities, creating a race arrangement, really, because white people, poor and working class white people, were a problem to the land-owning gentry. They were indentured servants, they were exploited, they were abused, they were misled, and they found solidarity with kidnapped and enslaved Africans and indigenous people, and that was a problem to the colonial leaders in Virginia. So they had to figure out what to do with poor and working class white people, so they created this all-class racial identity that they could be a part of. So we didn't just spend 246 years oppressing people. We spent 246 years hoodwinking and misleading other people as well. And that, I believe, accounts for the fact that we have twice as many, if not more, poor, working class white people on welfare in the United States that a lot of wealthy people don't give 2 cents about. I think we also spent 2.5 centuries building a nation to the exclusion of everyone else. So we spent 62% of our experience in the United States under that arrangement. And then another 100 years of Jim Crow that says, all right, you're a citizen and you're not enslaved, but you don't have any rights. You couldn't go to school in Guilford County. You couldn't live in a lot of the neighborhoods in this county and in this city. You couldn't be buried in cemeteries. You couldn't eat at Woolworths. You couldn't stay in hotels. You couldn't watch the movies in theaters. And then there were state-sanctioned laws, like the Social Security Act, that said if you're a domestic worker or an agricultural worker, you can't participate. That was 1935, the year my dad was born. So this isn't something that happened in 1942. As the American Bar Association said, that this is not a bygone relic of the past. And I am stunned that there is not an inquiry or a desire to engage in critical examination of the thing people are going around here trying to ban. We say we want our children to be critical thinkers, that we want them to be inquisitive, to be curious, to question. And what we are saying here is don't do that. So happy Juneteenth. And Dr. Contreras, we have our days, but it is truly an honor to serve with you because I know that you really do care about children. And I am sorry what is happening to you. And I'll do everything in my position, in my role as a community member here in this city to stand side by side with you and to make sure that you know and that the public knows you are not alone. So thank you for everything that you do. And with that said, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.